One of the questions that I get the most is, why aren't I building muscle? Why isn't it working at the speed that I want? And the real reason is not me cutting strawberries, but it's how you train in the gym. So I'm going to go over that, and we're going to show you some videos where we actually show you how to train properly and what a real set should look like. And the first thing with the gym that we need to be aware of for building muscle is it's not about how heavy you lift. A lot of people think it's about how heavy you lift, and it certainly matters, to an extent, right? Obviously, you want the weights to go up over time, as that's a really good indicator that you are gaining muscle. But it's not what you lift, it's how you lift and the range of motion that you lift. So the vast majority of people I see will chase progressive overload in the form of weight on the bar at the expense of all other variables. And I know there's a whole bunch of TikTok broccoli head people who say things like the form doesn't matter and the eccentric doesn't matter and blah, 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 but they've got less muscle mass on them than a shiitake noodle. So listening to those guys is the wrong idea. What you want to do for each set in the gym is you want to make sure that your range of motion and your speed is equated through every single rep and every single set. Now the speed can slow down on the concentric part of the lift, but you want to have a controlled eccentric going down for standardization of form and also safety. If you're just dropping, say in a back squat, 100 kilos straight down to the ground with no control, it's probably not going to be ideal for you in the long run. So what we want to do is make sure we standardize that. The next thing we want to do is make sure that we actually do experience a significant lengthening in the amount of time it takes to produce the concentric or lifting part of the couple of reps. In other words, we want to get really close to muscular failure, and sometimes to muscular failure, to get the results that we're after. And most people don't do that because it's uncomfortable, because it hurts, and it's not fun. If we can do that, we're going to get far better results in the gym, and we'll actually find out, more importantly, that we don't need anywhere near the amount of volume that we need to do to progress. Most lifters will do far too much volume, and the reason they do too much volume is to compensate for the fact that their sets aren't actually that stimulative to begin with. So less volume, better quality, better control, and from there, a higher level of execution and intensity in each lift will get you the results you're after in your physique.